Hi everybody, it's Crystal. Welcome to my channel. I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe today. So today I was just going to do kind of an experimental video, and if you want to watch you can watch, you don't have to, but I did open some mystery boxes a day or two ago, and I got this Lion brand Summer Nights in it. Now I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the Summer Nights. It's very soft and it's very sparkly, but unfortunately it's considered a one weight, and I can't use weights really that too much that are below a 4 because I have arthritis in these fingers here, so it's really hard. But I had seen someone suggest in the comments that I should take multiple balls of these and put them together and make a hat on my Addy knitting machine. So I thought that I would give that a try. And I've never used more than 2 strands of yarn at the same time on my knitting machine, so I think I'm going to try to use 6, because 6 of these should probably be equivalent to about a 4 weight. We'll check it out, but I'm really interested to see how it's going to work. I think it'll work. My Addy is pretty good. I mean, the Addy knitting machine, if you don't know, is this one. It may not work. I don't know. Let's just go give it a try. Now, whenever I do use my Addy knitting machine, I use a power drill instead of having to hand crank it. You can buy these adapters on Amazon, eBay, and all sorts of places. So whenever I start to use the power drill, I'll turn the sound off so it's not loud. But you can watch it spin around and around. It's really cool to watch it as it goes. And then we'll see if it works. I don't know. Let's just do it, right? Let's just see if it works. Okay, so this is going to be a little difficult. Don't worry, my floor's clean. I swept it earlier. So I'm going to use 5 because I put 5 together, and it looks like it's going to be about equivalent to pretty close to being a 4 weight. And I tried to line the colors up to where they match, where the colors start to go from one shade of blue to the other. And it's going to be a little challenging because, as you can see, I got to keep them all from tangling and stuff. But I'm gonna get some help from my husband. So let's see I don't know. Let's see how this is going to do. It could bomb, or it could make the prettiest hat in the world. You never know until you try it, right? Let's do it. Let's give it a go. Fail. Didn't work. Too many strands for my Addy. I don't recommend it. Don't worry, no yarn was going to be harmed in the making of this video. I will take it all off and wind this yarn back up into itty bitty cakes. It would have been such a pretty hat too. Look at that on the other side here. The right side here. Wouldn't that have been pretty? Had it not dropped all them loops and had holes in it. That's okay. We live and we learn. Don't use 5 strands of 1 weight on an Addy. I even hand cranked and it still dropped stitches. I used a drill and it dropped more. It's just gonna drop them left and right. All right, so hey, you like my Hawaiian shirt? I felt pretty festive. So let's go over what happened, what went wrong with this real quick. So after you seen in the video that we were struggling with the Addy knitting machine, and it shouldn't have been struggling because the 5 strands of this Summer Nights together equaled about a 4 weight yarn. I think the problem was it wasn't a tension because it was really loose and I was controlling the tension. I think it was just it being so many 5 strands that weren't wound together, it was having such a hard time catching all of them at once. So after I took it off the adding machine, this would be the outside of the hat. You can see all the stitches. It just could not, look at them big holes. It could not catch all 5 strands at once. I find this really interesting. You could shut me off if you want, but you see that everywhere. You know, it started to work really, actually, in the beginning. You can see that. And then it seemed like the looser that these balls became, like as more yarn comes out of the center, it gets looser and easier to pull. It just started dropping more and more of the strands all the way to the top. No matter how hard I tried to keep it from dropping them, it just kept dropping one. Now if I was to turn it right side out, this would be the right side of the work. Like if I was to make a hat, this is what side would show, and you can see very badly where it dropped all those stitches. This side don't look too bad. You can see it dropped a few strands of the 5 here and there, but it just was struggling with it quite a bit. But you know, it did work out in the beginning a little bit. I can't say it did all the way. It did drop a couple in the beginning. It just got worse the looser that these balls became, and there was nothing that I could do to stop it. It just was not catching them. No matter how hard I tried to control and all 5 strands at once, it just wasn't working. Me and my husband were both working on it, and it just wouldn't work. But what a beautiful hat that would have been, don't you think? Like I said, you learn from your mistakes. I learned. From now on, Bagoday does no more than 2 strands of yarn through her Addy at once. I actually broke a needle on my Addy. So, I forgot to tell you that. When I was working it, you seen us struggle in there. It broke a needle off my Addy right here. So it broke. So I had to start over. I actually have 2 Addies. So I could replace that needle. Of course, it's very easy to replace, but I have 2 Addies right next to each other. So I wasn't very far in when that needle broke. So I decided to start over with my second Addy. And that's what you see on video. This is second Addy, because the first one didn't get very long before it broke the needle off. But it didn't break any needles the second time around. But you can see how my husband was kind of trying to help it. It was just having such a hard time. But it didn't break either one. It just broke that one needle. That's easy to replace. So they come with extra needles, so they're so easy to replace. So my Addies are fine. Surprisingly, actually, because it went through it, but it did it. I love the Addy, man. It can take some abuse from me. But yes, from now on, I just think that would have been so pretty. And don't worry, I'll wind this back up. I'm not going to waste this. From now on, only 2 strands of thinner yarn for me through the Addy. But usually I'll probably just use 1 when I use the Addy knitting machine. But it was a fun experiment. Like I said, you learn. I learned not to do that again. That's what I learned. So I hope you had fun watching it. And it was, I rewatched the video and it was hilarious. The struggle was real. It was real. And it turned out to be a real nightmare in the end. But it was still fun. So I'll see you guys on my next video. Yeah? Alright. Take care, okay? Bye, guys.